Hello everyone and welcome to another Minecraft mod showcase. Today I'm going to be showcasing Quark and Quark Oddities in 1.16.1. Quark and Quark Oddities is basically, they're vanilla plus mods. Well, Quark Oddities is an add-on to that, but Quark is a vanilla plus mod that adds things that should or even eventually could be in Minecraft. So things like vertical slabs and like block places. So this video is going to be quite a long one just because Quark and Quark Oddities are quite a lot of things to showcase just in one video. So the way the video is going to be segmented is in just parts, and you'll be able to just watch the video normally. You can click the numbers in the description just to this is for certain parts of the video you want to watch, or you can click the timeline in the YouTube video if for ease of access to different parts as well. So without further ado, let's get into this showcase. So the first thing I'm going to be showcasing in this mod is building. So all the building stuff in Quark and Quark Oddities. So Quark adds 5 new main types of stone, and those are marble, limestone, jasper, slate, and voidstone. The first 4 can all be found in the overworld, but the last one can only be found in the end islands. All these blocks have polished, brick, and raw versions, with slabs, stairs, vertical slabs, which are a new feature of Quark, walls for the brick and raw version, stalagmites and stalactites, or Quark calls them spelethioids, and pillars, pavement, and bricks. So the recipe for all of these is to make the polished versions are just 4 of the stone, or just put it through a stone cutter, and for the brick it's just 4 polished or through a stone cutter as well. Stairs and slabs are how you expect them. To make any vertical slabs in the Quark mod is pretty simple. It's just 3 slabs down the middle of the crafting table. The walls are crafted just like any other walls. The stalagmites and stalactites, they are, you can find them in caves and stuff, and you can use silk touch to collect them, or you can craft them with just 3 of the raw stone. And to make the pillars is just 2 polished slabs. The pavement is just 9 polished blocks, and the chiseled is just 2 bricks slabs. So the next thing I'm going to cover is the sandy bricks. So sandy bricks are just another decorative block, and they're like bricks, but more of a yellowy sandy color. And the way they're crafted is pretty simple. It's just 1 brick block and a piece of sand that'll make you 1 sandy brick. And those sandy bricks can be turned into slabs, stairs, walls, and vertical slabs. And these are just crafted as you expected. Same recipe for the vertical slabs as everything else. The next block is thatch. Thatch is basically an unbound hay bale. And they're crafted with 4 wheat, and that'll make you 4 thatch blocks, and you can make stairs, slabs, and vertical slabs. The next block on my list is turf. Turf is basically a grass block with grass all sides, so it's all the same texture. And a feature about the turf block is that even when a block's on top of it, it won't decay, so it won't turn into dirt. It'll just stay as the turf block. The recipe for the turf block is just 4 grass, and that can make your stairs, slabs, and vertical slab variants. So the next blocks are the iron plates and the rusty iron plates. The iron plates and rusty iron plates are quite simple to make. All you need for the iron plates are just 8 iron ingots to make you 24 iron plates. And for the rusty iron plates, it's pretty simple as well. You can either do 8 iron ingots with a bucket of water in the middle, or you can do 8 iron plates, just normal ones, with a bucket of water in the middle, and that make you 8 or 24. So these all have their slabs, vertical slabs, stair, and variants as well. The next block is the framed glass. This is more for like your medieval kind of builds, and the recipe for this is just 5 glass and 4 iron ingots. You are losing out on a piece of glass when you craft this, but it's a pretty good trade-off for this cool looking glass. The next block is probably one of my favorite blocks in the building section, and that is the stained planks. Stained planks are planks that are stained in the different colors. So they're for all 16 colors in the Minecraft rainbow. There's they've got their stairs, slabs, vertical slabs, and they've also got a vertical plank. And the vertical planks are basically the normal plank texture, just in a vertical pattern instead of a horizontal. The recipe for the vertical planks are pretty simple. It's just 3 of the plank down the middle. And for the what's it called? For the normal plank, the recipe for that is just 8 colored 8 any type of plank with the dye in the corner, if whatever dye you want. And that's for all 16 colors. The next next blocks on my list are the permafrost and the permafrost bricks. The permafrost blocks, I'll tell you more about that in the world section of the video. But you can turn these permafrost into these slab, stairs, vertical slabs, and wall variants. And you can turn these permafrost blocks into permafrost bricks. And the recipe for the permafrost bricks are just 4 permafrost or a stone cutter. and you can turn those permafrost bricks into vertical slabs, stairs, normal slabs, or walls. So the next block is the sturdy stone. The sturdy stone is a block with the furnace texture on all sides, and the feature about this block is that it's an immovable block. This is because in the automation section you'll see that tile entities like furnaces and chests are now movable, so they add another block that is immovable that you can use as a counterpart, like to replace those now movable blocks. The next thing on my list is the soul sandstone. Soul sandstone is basically normal sandstone but crafted with soul sands. It'll make this nice brown sandstone kind of look, and it has stairs, vertical slabs, and walls. And you can also make the cut, chiseled, and polished smooth versions. And the cut and smooth have both a vertical slab, and the smooth one just has a normal slab, and so does the cut one actually. And they also have the smooth one has stairs. And you can also make soul sand bricks, which is crafted with 4 soul sand, and you can cut soul sandstone, and you can make those into stairs, walls, slabs, or vertical slabs. And all these things are crafted the normal way with sandstone, but instead of sandstone, it's soul sandstone. The next block is the vertical planks, and this is for all the 8 planks in the Minecraft, and even including the crimson and warp planks. The next thing is the Elder Prismarine. Elder Prismarine, I'll tell you more about that later and how you can get it. But it's basically a Elder Guardian kind of color palette for the normal Prismarine. And once you've got one piece of Elder Prismarine, you can duplicate that with just one other piece of Prismarine, and then you can combine it with your Elder Prismarine to make 2 Elder Prismarine. You can turn these Elder Prismarine into Elder Prismarine bricks, which is crafted with 4 Elder Prismarine. You can turn the Elder Prismarine also into some Dark Elder Prismarine, with just a piece of black dye in the middle, and 8 Elder Prismarine around the outside, and that'll make you 9 Elder Prismarine bricks. All these blocks have the wall, stairs, slabs, vertical slab versions as well. And you can also make the Elder Sea Lantern, which is just crafted with a Sea Lantern and a piece of Elder Prismarine. So the next block is the Duskbound block. The Duskbound block is a end kind of themed block. It's crafted with just 8 purple and 1 obsidian in the middle. Feature about this block is that it can't be destroyed by the Ender Dragon. So the Duskbound block has a stair, vertical slab, and slab version. Also has a lantern, which is just crafted with a ender pearl and 8 Duskbound blocks. And this is like the same luminosity of a glowstone or sea lantern. So next on my list is the Biotile block. Biotile is basically an end version of the Nether Quartz, and it's this nice dark block. You can get the normal Biotile, or you can get the smooth Biotile, all crafted the way you'll craft normal quartz blocks, but instead with Biotile. And the way you get Biotile is in the end, and you can only get it after you kill the Ender Dragon, and it will spawn in the End Islands, and it looks like this when you break the ore. So, the next on my list is the cobblestone bricks and the mossy cobblestone bricks. This is basically a cobblestone variant of the stone bricks. You can make slabs, stairs, walls, and vertical slabs, and the cobblestone bricks is carved like this, and it's the same for the mossy cobblestone bricks except for mossy cobblestone. So yeah. Next is the quilted wool. Quilted wool is a nice kind of alternative to using wool. It's, well, not alternative, but it's a nice different pattern. It's a kind of more of a grid pattern when you place it down, and it looks quite nice. Can be used in a lot of colorful builds. And the way you craft it is with your preferred wool in the middle, 2 string on the top and bottom, and that'll make you 3 quilted wool. So the next blocks are actually more diorite, andesite, and granite blocks. So you can now get the brick, chisel bricks, pavement, and pillar blocks for all of these. You can also get the brick walls, you can get the stalagmites and stalactites, and you can get vertical slabs for all the old slabs, and also get some new slabs with the granite bricks. These are all crafted like the what's it called? All the jasper and limestone and marble are over there. So the next block is the Midori block. The Midori block is a green purple block, and if you didn't know, Midori is green in Japanese. That's why that's how it got its name. And the way you craft this is just with some cactus paste. Cactus paste is gotten by smelting cactus in a furnace, and that what used to be the recipe for green dye, but now green dye is just crafted with a piece of cactus paste in a crafting table. So these have the pillared block and vertical slabs and stair versions, and these all just crafted. The pillars are just for 2 Midori slabs, and that will make you your blocks. The next blocks are the vertical slabs for the vanilla block. So any block in the vanilla game that had a slab will now have a vertical slab thanks to Quark. So next is the snow bricks. Snow bricks are Pretty simple blocks to craft. They're just 4 snow, and that'll make you snow bricks. There's some nice bricks with like white bricks with like a little blue tinge to it. You make your slabs, stairs, vertical slabs, and walls. Next is the charred brick. The charred brick is just crafted with a fire charge and 3 nether bricks, and that'll make you either a slab, stair, wall, or vertical slab. Next is the blue nether bricks, which is just crafted simply with a piece of nether brick and a warped warp block, and that will just craft you blue nether bricks. Next is the sandstone brick, both red and normal sandstone bricks. These are just crafted with 4 cut sandstone, just like the soul sandstone over there. So next you got the, those can all be crafted into slabs, stairs, vertical slabs, and walls. Next is the magma bricks, and those are just crafted with 4 magma blocks or a stone cutter, and that can make your slabs, stairs, vertical slabs, and walls. So after that is the brimstone block. The brimstone block, I'll get more onto that later in the building the world section of the video. And you can turn these into slabs, stairs, vertical slabs, and walls. You can also make a brick variant, which is just crafted with 4 brimstone or a stone cutter. And you can make the wall, stairs, vertical slabs, and normal slabs. Next is the shingles block. Shingles block is a nice terracotta block, and you can get it for all 16 colors of the Minecraft rainbow, and also the normal terracotta color. The recipe for these blocks is pretty simple. It's either just 4 of the colored terracotta you want, or you can get 8 normal terracotta and put your dye in the middle. The recipe for the normal terracotta is just 4 terracotta. And next on this list is the compacted blocks. The compacted blocks are basically, all the recipes are the item that it's made of, just in a 3x3 grid in the crafting table. So that can be crafted into bound leather, bound rabbit hide, bound ravager hide, sugarcane bundles, cactus batches, stick stacks, bamboo bundles, chorus fruit batches, charcoal blocks. And you can also make some sacks and crates with just the gunpowder stacks, the sweetberry stacks, gunpowder stacks, netherwort stacks, cocoa bean stacks, stacks, I mean not stacks, and beetroot crates, the carrot crate, the potato crate, the apple crate, and the golden apple crate. I really like the textures for these crates. They look really nice for some builds. So the next thing on the list is the flower pots. They're not new, but you can now put other things into them now. So you can now put wheat seeds, pumpkin seeds, melon seeds, potatoes, carrots, beetroot seeds, chorus flowers, cocoa beans, netherworts, sugarcane, sunflowers, lilacs, rose bushes, peonies, sea pickles, sweet berries, and grass. And then next is the gold bars, and these are just crafted with 6 gold ingots, and that's the same as the iron bars instead of iron gold though. And this is really nice for like your nether builds, like the new blackstone bricks and stuff like that. Next is the lit redstone lamp, and that is just basically a redstone lamp that's always lit. Just like if you don't have any space in your builds for putting redstone blocks or torches in. And the craft recipe for this is just 1 redstone lamp in a crafting table will make you the lit one. Next is the blaze lantern. This is basically a nether variant of the sea lantern, and it is just crafted simply with 4 blaze rods and 5 blaze powder. And I did miss a block over here, which is the tallow block, and the tallow block is just a decorative block that looks like this. And the tallow is it just requires 9 tallow, and tallow is dropped from pigs when you kill them. So next is the dyed item frames. As you can see here, they're basically the same as normal item frames, but instead of the brown like leather kind of background, it's the colored. And the recipe for these is pretty simple. All you need to do is just get 1 of the dye you want and an item frame that make the dyed item frames, and you can put any items in them like a normal item frame. Next is a bit of a special item frame, and they're the glass item frames. Glass item frames are basically invisible item frames. Invisible item frames were added in the 1.16 update, but this is basically just an easier survival version that you can use. So they look like this when you place them down, but once you put an item inside of them, the frame disappears and just shows the block or item that you put in there. The recipe for these are pretty easy as well. They're just 1 item frame with 8 glass planes around them. And these glass item frames have multiple uses. You can use them to display items, but if you also put a banner inside of them, they will act as wallpaper. So you can see here, all this is just banners, and I just made a custom banner here, and I put those into the frame, and that'll make a nice wallpaper. It's a very strange colored wallpaper, but yeah. So you can also see if you place them on corners, it won't have like a item frame around the edge. It'll just like cover up the whole corner, which is nice looking. Next is the different kinds of ladders. There are now 8 new ladders in the game. There's now the spruce, birch, jungle, acacia, dark oak, crimson, warped, and iron ladder. So the normal Minecraft recipe for ladders didn't require any like wooden blocks, so you couldn't differentiate between what wood you use to craft the sticks. So they had to change the recipe. So now it requires one wood block in the middle and 6 sticks on the outside. And this is because just so you can tell what kind of ladder you want to craft. And so all of these are just craft for the woods, but the iron ladder is a bit special. So that first of all, their crafting recipe is just 6 iron nuggets on the outside and iron ingot in the middle. But those iron ladders there can float. So if you just have your top iron ladder on the block, you can place other iron ladders below them. So you can see here, I can just place those down, and now they'll float and you can climb up them easily. So next is the candles. Candles are a nice decorative block. They're the same, give off the same light level as torches, and the way they're crafted is with the tallow blocks the tallow I talked about earlier. You just get 2 tallow and put 1 string on the top. It'll make you 2 white candles, and those white candles can be dyed with any other dye, and to make any other colored candles. Another thing about the candles is that they can they're affected by gravity. So you see here, if I unpower the piston, it will make the candle fall. Next is the different kinds of chests. So in the vanilla Minecraft game, you only have the normal like brown chests, but now you can make up to, I believe it's 12 different chests now, and those are the oak chests, jungle, dark oak, acacia, birch, spruce, warped, crimson, prismarine, mushroom, netherbrick, and purple. So these the first 9 were crafted with just normal woods, but the mushroom chest is crafted with 8 red mushroom blocks. The prismarine is 8 prismarine. The purple is just 8 purple, and the netherbrick is just 8 netherbricks. So next is the different kinds of bookshelves. So now you've got 7 new bookshelves. You've got the birch, jungle, spruce, warped, crimson, acacia, and dark oak for all of your different kinds of theme builds, so you don't have stuck with the normal oak bookshelves. So next is the netherbrick fence, and this is just because in the vanilla Minecraft game you had netherbrick fences but no netherbrick fence gates. So they're just pretty simple to craft. All you need is 2 netherbricks and 4 netherbrick blocks. Oh yeah, and by the way, the recipe for all these are just normal bookshelf recipe with the certain type of wood. Next is the rope block, and that's just crafted with 6 string. And these rope blocks are kind of like a horizontal upside down scaffolding. So basically you can place from the bottom of the block and keep placing it so it places down. And another feature about this block, if there's a block at the very bottom of your rope coil, and if you shift right click with an empty hand, it will lift up the bottom block. So you can see here, it will raise up the block. If you want to lower it again, you can just right click the rope with a rope coil and it'll lower it down. And so yeah, these are pretty simple to craft, as I said, just 6 string. And the next recipe block is the paper walls. The paper walls are a nice Japanese, like kind of oriental kind of block for all of your oriental builds. They're just pretty simple to craft. Just 6 bamboo and 3 paper, and those will make you 6 paper walls. These paper walls can be either crafted into big paper walls of just 4 paper walls, or you can get 1 paper wall and then any kind of sapling. It will make you a decorated paper wall, and these can also be smelted in the furnace if you ever wanted to do that for whatever reason. You can also make paper lamps and decorated paper lamps. The recipe for these are also pretty easy, just 6 paper, 2 bamboo, and 1 glowstone. And you can combine these with a sapling to make the decorated paper lantern. So the last thing is the leaf carpets. These are just leaf carpets made of leaves. And the recipe for these are pretty easy, just 2 of the same leaves, and that'll make you the corresponding carpet. So that's all of the building stuff. Next I'll move over onto the automation side of Quark. So Quark adds magnets to the game. So magnets they basically just move around any blocks with iron inside of them. So you can just move an iron block around, or you can move like hoppers and trap chests around. Also, some blocks have special features. So if I just go and break this first, no, break that, break the block. Nope. Okay, they are a bit difficult to break sometimes when they're getting moved by magnets, because they're kind of in a like entity kind of state when they're moved, and you can't hit them then. So let me just fix up the mess I made. Yeah, so as I was saying, let me get that stone back. As I was saying, some blocks have special like things that happen to them when you get pushed them by magnets. So I've just got a couple of items in this chest over here. So I've got 4 items, or 3 of them actually do special things. One of them are just cool. So that if you put a stone cutter on a magnet like beam, it'll break any blocks, like some special blocks above it. And these could be used for nice, like making like quarries or digging out large areas. If you could like set up an automatic magma mining area. And the next item is the hopper. If you place that on a beam and put items inside of it, it will spit out the items when it gets pushed by a magnet, but only if there's no block obstructing. And that means like things like grass as well. As you can see here, didn't spit out a block. So if I just turn this off and take the hopper back, the next item is the cauldron. So the cauldron, if you put items inside the cauldron, you just throw them in here. If you throw items inside of them and activate the lever, the items will stay inside of the cauldron, which is a kind of cool little thing. You can use that for transporting items if you ever wanted to, just in case you had a large supply of cauldrons and no hoppers. So, as I was saying, I had a trap chest before, because trap chests have iron in them, because the tripwire hook that, requires iron, so you can, like, move around your storage, just like this. Like a nice, like, really cool, like, systems can be set up with these magnets. Anyway, so I made a nice simple elevator out of these magnets just to show how you could use them. So if you just run on here and it places out a block, and oops, and yeah, see, it makes the magnets push you up, because you can place magnets vertically as well. I forgot to say. Yeah. So next item on our list is the chain. The chain isn't anything new. It's just it's got more uses now. So if you right-click a chain on a minecart or boat, it will actually now link them up. So you can make like little trains like this. So I just got some coal out of here. And you can actually give more use to the furnace minecarts and not have them be completely useless. They can now pull around your storage stuff now, if you don't have any powered rails. And I did say boats, so I'll just go teleport over here where I set up some boats. And another feature, by the way, is that you can put chests on boats now, which is a pretty cool feature. If you're moving around across the water and you running out of inventory space. So you can see here, if you can see that I've linked these boats up with chains. And if I just go with F5, yeah, you can see there's chains hooking up these boats. They're a lot longer than the minecart ones. And to access the inventories of the boats, you just press E while you're in it, and I'll see a chest here. So let's go back here. Yep. So let's go back to the automation section. And let's see. So next is the slime. Okay, by the way, the chains can be a little bit glitchy, which is kind of expected. It's a Minecraft, and playing with Minecraft, and they've always been pretty glitchy. But anyway, so next is the colored slime. So these are kind of like the honey blocks and kind of not. So it's kind of well, colored slime. It's kind of what you'd expect. So, and like now blocks will stick to all these colored slimes and pushed by pistons. You see here, if I just actually, oh no, I broke it. Good job. You can see if I just do this and I can place a grass block there. See, it will connect up to the grass block and push it up and down, just like any other slime blocks. That's very peculiar. That just disappeared. Anyway, yeah. So the way these work, they work with the color system. So primary and secondary colors. So so the secondary colors, whatever colors they're made up of, they will stick to the corresponding slime. So if you have a like cyan slime, they'll connect up to blue and green slime, because that's what they're made up of. And if you have like say a red slime, they'll connect to yellow and magenta, because they make up yellow and magenta. Red makes up yellow and magenta. So these are kind of like the honey blocks and kind of not. So you have multiple different colored slime blocks, which can be pretty cool for some like slime flying machines. So next, I'll just turn this off just because it's a bit laggy. Yeah, but next is the Ender Watcher. This is basically a target block, but instead of the you have like projectiles like arrows and tridents, you actually have your line of sight, which is your weapon. Well, not weapon, just projectile. So if you just look at a Ender Watch, you can see the more and more I look into the middle of it, the more it will light up. You can see here if I just look at the back, it's just a simple redstone circuit, and the more I look in the middle, the higher power the signal goes, which is pretty cool. It's quite sensitive though, so yeah. It could be made for some like fun redstone contraptions, maybe some kind of like security things set up. Anyway, next is the chute, and this is basically a more precise dropper. So if you see, I can just dump a stack of iron blocks in there, and it will split them evenly. And you can see the difference between the chute and the dropper is that, first of all, the chute doesn't require any power. It doesn't make any sound. But most noticeably is that it is more precise. So it's actually always in the middle, as the droppers like sprays everywhere and not much got in the hole. But you can see here all 32 of the blocks got in there, and hardly any of them got in there. So I'll just turn this off just to stop making such a loud noise. Anyway, next is the gravasand. So gravasand is a interesting block. It's basically sand, and you can change its gravity by just powering it with redstone. You can see here I just got a button on this block, and every time it gets powered, the gravasand's gravity will shift from one to the other. And if you just have no block above the gravasand, it will just fly off into the sky, never to be seen again. Anyway, so I made this cool little wave pattern as well. Another thing is actually, if you have gravasand and it's got other gravasand next to it, you can actually press it and it will shift its gravity. All the gravisands will shift their gravity. Okay, that one's gone to the sky. Anyway, next is the dispenser, which isn't a new block, but it's got a new feature. Dispensers can now place blocks. So I've just got some stairs in here, and if I just press this button, it will power the dispensers. And you can see here that when the dispensers got powered, they placed the stairs down in the direction that they were facing, so you can make some like cool like building automatic machines, which I could build because I could not ever make anything like that. Anyway, so next is it's another feature that's been changed. Endermites will now go into purple blocks like silverfish go into stone, and when they go into purple blocks, they will make shulkers, which makes it so shulkers are a renewable mob, because by default in Minecraft, the shulkers, they don't respawn in end cities. Why did they disappear? Anyway, and now they're teleporting everywhere. Oh, you broke my item frame. Thanks a lot, shulker. Anyway, so you can see they go into the blocks, and it makes shulkers renewable now. Next is two items, actually. It's the grate and the feeding trough. So the grate is kind of like an invisible fence for passive mobs like pigs and cows and sheep. And it will basically, everything can walk over it except for those mobs. And you can get them over if you just, lead them. And they'll easily walk over just like this. See, pretty easy. So this is kind of just a cleaner alternative to fences and fence gates. And the next thing is the feeding trough. So if I just go get some wheat, which both cows and sheep will eat, if I put them in the feeding trough, they'll all just run over to the trough and start eating it. And the difference, like when they eat it, they won't get enter breeding mode immediately. They will take a little bit of time to yeah. So you see they got all our parts. So the breeding trough will basically automatically breed any mobs around it if it's got the right food inside of it. And it will stop breeding mobs if there's a certain amount of mobs. If there's 32 mobs within a certain radius. And the another thing about the grate is you can throw items through it without any like interference with the block. So it can be cool for just like nice walkways. You want to throw blocks through. Don't know why you want to do that, but anyway. So you can also see another thing is Quark makes it so there's more like mob variants. So the pigs, cows, and chickens will now have different textures. There's nothing actually different about them. They just look a little different, which is nice. It's not all the same. The sheep don't have it obviously because you can dye them. But anyway, next is the buttons, the iron and gold button, and this is like the oak and stone button. You can see the oak's quite long and the stone's not as long. But the gold button is a 2-tick pulse, so it's quite quick, and the iron button is quite the opposite. It's actually a 5-second pulse, which could be used for different things that you need. Anyway, so you can see there. Next is the 2 redstone circuits. So there's the redstone randomizer and redstone capacitor. And the redstone randomizer is simply crafted just like this with an endo biotile like that. And if you just press the button, you can see this will randomize whenever a redstone signal goes inside of it. Anyway, so next is the capacitor. And whenever so this will basically add up the signal of redstone going inside of it. So if I just go put a whole load of swords in here, you can see the signal went up there, more in here, the signal will go up even higher. If I take some out of here, the signal will go down. Yeah, but it's pretty cool. Used for cool redstone contraptions. Next is the obsidian pressure plate, which is basically a pressure plate that can only be triggered by a player. So I put a pig there, nothing happens. Put a netherite sword there, nothing happens. But if I stand here, it will trigger. Okay, so next is the iron rod, which is basically a block breaker for Minecraft. And the way these work, these are pretty hard to craft actually. They require 2 iron and an end rod. But anyway, so So the way these work is, the iron rod will break any block that gets pushed, as long as it can be pushed by a piston. So you can see here, break the dirt, break the what's it called, so the diamonds, and break the netherite debris. But it won't break the obsidian because obsidian's immovable, even though these both require diamond pickaxe to mine. So it shows that the mining level doesn't matter. Anyway, next is the movable tile entities. So you can see here, chests, hoppers, and like furnaces and stuff like that can now be moved by pistons. And I can show you here. It'll even, like, if you have stuff smelting in here, it will still like save how long it's been smelting for. You can see pushing it doesn't do anything. It could be cool for some redstone contraptions. Anyway, next is the weather sensor. So the weather sensor sensors weather. So it's like a daylight sensor. It just inverts, right clicking inverts the signal. So by default it's like this. It'll only turn on when there's rain. But if you invert it, it'll turn off if there's rain. So if I set it to, if it rains, this will turn on and this will turn off. It's pretty simple. It's crafted with just 3 endo tile, 3 glass, and 3 purple slabs. Next is the pipes. So pipes are a pretty cool thing. You can hook up hoppers to them and go into different containers. So if I just go put some blocks in here, you can see that the items will go through, and they'll choose to go forwards if they can. But if there's what's it called, a pipe powered, it will not go through that block, and it will just go left, because that's the only way it can go. And if you have it so there's a splitting path, it will randomize going left and right. So you see here, the direction it goes is randomized, and you can have items fly through the pipes and fly back into the other pipes just like this. And you can also, if you set up like walls next to them, like on the tops and the bottoms of them, it'll make these little support things, just like nice decorating things. Anyway, I did forget to say all the recipes for me, so I'll just have to quickly go through all of them. So the magnet is simply just 4 cobblestone, 2 redstone, a blue dye, 2 iron, and a chorus fruit. And the colored slime, they're pretty easy. They're just well, for the like base colors, for the primary colors, they're just any kind of slime with a dye. And for the secondary colors, they're the 2 slimes that make them up. For the no, they're not recipes. Okay, yeah. For the iron grates, it's just 4 iron bars in the corner. And for the feeding trough, if I can just get to it. Let me get to the feeding trough, please. Okay. So for the feeding trough, it's just 3 planks and 2 fence gates. And for the iron and stone buttons, they're pretty, the iron and gold buttons, they're just a button and gold, or a button and iron. And for the, I showed you that recipe for some reason. Yeah, for the recipe for this, is just 3 stone, 2 redstone, and 1 magma cream. For the obsidian pressure plate, it's pretty easy, just 2 obsidian, I believe. Yep, 2 obsidian, just like a normal pressure plate. For the iron rods, I showed you that as well. For the pipes, they're pretty easy as well. They're just 2 iron and piece of glass. Weather sensors, I showed you those. And, oh yeah, the grava sand is easy as well. It's just 8 sand and 1 enderpearl. For the chute, it's very easy. It's just 4 planks and 3 sticks. And for the ender watcher, that is just 4 blocks of biotile, 4 redstone dust, and an eye of ender. So that's all the stuff in the automation section. Next, we're going to move over onto the mob section, which doesn't have as much stuff as all this stuff, but it's still pretty interesting. So the first mob in Quark is the crab. So crabs spawn in beach biomes, and they have 3 different colors they come in. They come in red, green, and blue. And when you kill them, they have a chance of dropping crab legs and crab shells. You can cook the crab legs, so they make cooked crab legs. And you can brew the crab shells into these potions of fortitude, which one drunk will give you a resistance effect. And when you can breed these crabs, if you have wheat, chicken, any type of fish, they'll breed them. So you can just right click them like a normal any other mob, and that will breed them, which is pretty cool if you want to farm your shells. And yeah, so next they actually do like music, like the parrots. When you play music around them, they'll also do a little dance just like this. And I really like the dance they do. It's very strange, I guess. They kind of like float up and down through the sand. Yeah, but that's another feature about the crabs. And I think that's all the crabs have. There's not much about them, but they're pretty cool. Yeah, so they spawn in beaches, like I said before. And yeah, they're pretty cool. So the next mob is the foxhound, and they spawn in the nether biome. And if I just go over here, I made a little area for them. So foxhounds are basically the nether version of the wolf. So you can tame them. They look like this when they're tamed. And when they're not tamed, they look like this. No collar around their neck. And the way they tame them is it's actually a bit more complicated than you'd think. So you tame them with coal, but you would also need a fire resistance potion because by default the foxhounds are hostile. So if I go into survival mode just here, and you see he'll come and attack me. So if I just drink this, he won't do damage to me now. So and you tame them with coal, and they sometimes don't take much coal, but they sometimes take multiple stacks of coal. So you see okay, so that was a good one. So a lot of the other testing I've done, they take like 3 stacks of coal. So you can see here they don't. And so the foxhounds aren't just nether versions of the wolves, they also have some other features. So they can fall asleep on like hot blocks like magma, like the foxes do, just fall asleep. And if I just bring the foxhound over here, and I just have to push them all the way into the furnace. And if foxhounds actually increase the speed of the furnace if they're sitting on top of it. So if I just go get some of this coal, more coal I guess, and get some gold, you'll be able to see that the foxhound's furnace is a lot faster than a normal furnace. See here, they've already smelted 1 gold bar, and this one hasn't smelted one yet. So that's another feature of the foxhound. The foxhounds are just cool mobs in general. They don't have a specific biome they spawn in. They spawn all throughout the nether. They can be a bit rare, but they're really cool mobs. So that's the foxhounds, and the next mob on my list is the stoneling. So they spawn underground, so I made a little underground area for them. So I just teleport to them. So these are the stonelings. This is a tamed one, but the natural ones, they look like this. They have different faces, like different hairstyles as well, and they can be holding different items. So you can see this is the kind of items that you'll see they're holding. And if you kill them, they'll drop the item they're holding, so you can get like mob heads and stuff from this. And the when you're in survival mode though, they will run away from you. Oh, wrong button. They will run away from you. And so you see here, yeah, all the ones that weren't tamed, they all run away from you. So so if you do kill them, you'll get the item they are holding, which is like probably one of those, or they will have a chance of dropping a heart of diamond. So the heart of diamond can be used in a crafting recipe to make something later, but you can use it to tame a stoneling as well. So if you have a block of stone, you right click the heart of diamond, it will make a stoneling. The stonelings don't really do much, but if you just get a random item, just say a piece of rotten flesh for some reason, and if you shift right click on them, they'll hold it, and you can just right click it back off of them. They don't really do much besides that, but they look cool. So next is I believe is the crab, not the crab, we just did that before. Is the frog. So the frog is a passive mob that spawns in the swamp biome, and they look like this. They're a bit derpy looking with their wide mouths. Their heads are really wide, they're not really square. But yeah, you can see here they croak and ribbit, and they spawn in the swamp biome. And when you kill them, they'll drop frog legs, and these frog legs can either be cooked to make cooked frog legs, or you can make golden frog legs, which is crafted with 8 gold nuggets and a frog leg. And is that you can brew that into a potion of leaping. This is an alternative to using rabbit's legs because they can be kind of annoying to get. The frogs, they can come in lots of different sizes. The only reason these ones aren't is just because I spawn them with a spawn egg. But when you spawn them, when they spawn naturally, they'll be like in all different sizes. So that's the frog. The next mob is the tortoise. So the tortoise is they look like this. They spawn underground in light levels below 7, I believe, and they will have different ores in the back. They'll have either redstone, iron, lapis, or coal. You can see here I got 2 lapis, a redstone, and iron. And you can harvest the ores in their back with either a pickaxe or the iron rods, which I showed you earlier. So I just set up a little redstone thing, so you'll just kind of jab them with a iron rod, which is kind of harsh, but I guess, yeah. So they'll also eat from the feeding trough. So the feeding trough will basically, if you put cave roots in them, which I'll talk about more later, but if you put cave roots in them, they'll eat them, and they'll grow their ore back. And if you attack one without a pickaxe, or when they don't, with a pickaxe and they don't have ores in the back, they will do that little shockwave attack, which will damage you in survival mode. So you go survival and you just punch them. They'll do a very powerful shockwave attack, which is, yeah. really powerful, so you don't want to mess with the tortoises. So that's I believe the last mob of the mobs in Quark. The next thing I'm going to show you is the Enchanting and Tool section. So the first thing I'm going to show you is the backpack. So Quark Oddities adds a backpack which you can dye with any color of just like any leather armor. But if you equipped it in your chest plate slot and you go into survival, you'll see it doubles your inventory basically, which is a pretty good trade-off for taking away your chest plate slot. But yeah, so it doubles your inventory, and when you have items in it, so just say to get a bit of grass here. If I put some items in here, I can't take it out of my inventory now. Only when there's no items in there I can take it out. So that's the backpack. So I can switch back to creator mode now. And next is the ancient tomes. The ancient tomes are basically you can upgrade max level enchantment books. So for things like efficiency, you can only get level 5, and like unbreaking, you can only get level 3. But if you have an ancient tome of the same version, you can actually upgrade them into the next level. So if you just get the efficiency, well, the book and the corresponding book, it will cost you 35 experience levels, but you will get an efficiency level 6 enchantment book, which you can't get by enchanting any other way. And it's the same for the Unbreaking, get a level 4 enchantment book. And these will you can get these for all enchantments except for the armor enchantments. You can't get like Unbreaking ancient tomes, like not Unbreaking. You can't get let's see what's the you can't get thorns and like blast protection ancient tomes just because that's not a thing that they have. Only for things like for tools, weapons, and like things like Unbreaking and stuff. So next is the cloud in the bottle. So the cloud in the bottle is a kind of so if you know the extra utilities mod, you might be familiar with the angel block, and it's basically like that but with Quark. And so the way it works is so you say I just get a block here, and if you right click the bottled cloud, it'll place a cloud here. And if you right click it, it will place it in midair. So this is for if you're like building anything in the sky and you don't want to build like big dirt pillars or something up there just to build. And once you use it up in survival mode, it will be used up. So see here, if you go survival, you'll use up. You can bottle up again if you're quick, if you accidentally place it down or something. And yeah, it's pretty cool. The way you get the cloud in the bottle is pretty simple. All that you have to do is go up to the cloud level, and so you just keep flying up there. Make sure you're in the cloud, or the level that they're at least. And if you right click, it will give you a bottled cloud. Anyway, so next is I believe, yeah, the colored runes. So these colored runes, so the normal glint of enchants are pretty boring. It's or like boring purple glint, which they've had for a long time. So if I'll just get these tools and weapons and armor. So you can actually change the glint they have. So say I'm just gonna grab a couple random ones just to change the color of all the different types of armor. So yeah, say I get so I get this. And if you go into an anvil with it has to be an enchanted piece of it has to be an enchanted like thing. So say if I get this like iron chestplate and I give this rainbow rune, it will change the glint from just normal purple glint with Unbreaking 3 to a rainbow glint with Unbreaking 3. So you can do this for all things. So you can do that. You have to do it with the tool first. The item first, not the rune. So yeah, you can do it for all tools, weapons, and armor. And it's pretty cool. So you can see here, everything works. And they're really nice patterns. It's probably one of my favorite things part of Quark is the colored runes, because I just think they look really cool. And you can see here when you have the armor on, it will show up as with the glint on them. So you can see I've got my rainbow chestplate and what I believe is I think like a magenta helmet with like orange pants and the red boots. And you got see when you hold items as well, it shows as well. So you got your like red, purplish, magenta kind of color pickaxe with like different. I really like the cyan one. It's a really cool one. It looks really cool. And I really like the orange one as well because it's kind of a flame pattern. Anyway, next is what's it called? Next is the Pathfinder. So the Pathfinder is basically a biome finder for survival Minecraft. So if I just get some emeralds here. Oh no, that's not how to spell emeralds. Say I just get some emeralds and a compass. And the compass just here. Yeah, so say I get that, and so you can see there's like when you trade level up a cartographer, they'll now trade things like these different level Pathfinder maps. So the higher level the cartographer is, the more rare of biomes he'll sell. So you can see at the end he's got Ice Spikes Finder, but in the beginning he's only got like a Snowy Tundra Finder. So they're pretty cool, and all you have to do is just trade a compass with it and some emeralds, and we'll give you the Pathfinders, and you can say you can get it for the last one as well. So you can see here another feature about Quark is when you're in your inventory, you can actually hover over the maps and see which one they are. So you can see that one's that's what they look like when you hold them in your hand. That's what they look like as well. You can see the little tiny white dot at the top of the screen. That's where that's like kind of direction that I'm in compared to where the map is. And you can see this will that red X is where the I believe, yeah, the ice spikes will be. And here's the same for the snowy tundra, and the red X is just there at the top, and that's where the snowy tundra will be. Anyway, next is the Picarang and the Flamerang. So the Picarang's kind of a boomerang pickaxe kind of sword kind of weapon. So you can see here, I can throw it and it will break blocks, and in survival mode, it will break blocks and bring the block back to me. So you can see here, it can be used to, like, I guess, mine, like, trees and stuff down. It's like a really cool, like, kind of multi-tool nearly. So you can just use it like this if you wanted to, and just, like, use it to chop down trees. Like, it does have a cooldown, and you don't believe it doesn't do damage. Like, it does 3 hits of damage when you use it like that. But, you can, just, so if I go creative mode, you can enchant it with things like sharpness and unbreaking and like fortune and efficiency and stuff like that. And that's really cool. And if you get netherite ingot, you can also upgrade it into a flamerang, which is basically it doesn't like inflict fire damage, but it will it's basically it'll have more durability and do more damage as well. And yeah. So next is the slime in a bucket. So the slime in a bucket, it will basically tell you where a slime chunk is. Oh yeah, I forgot to say the Picarang recipe is just a heart of diamond, 2 planks, and 2 diamonds. And to get the ancient runes, you find them in dungeons, and the same for the ancient tomes, the colored runes. I mean, yeah. And the recipe for the backpack is just 6 leather, 1 Ravager hide, which you get from killing Ravagers, a chest, and a piece of iron. Anyway, so back to the slime in a bucket. So the slime in a bucket, the way you get it is by right-clicking a bucket on a small slime, and then when you have this in your hotbar, I believe, yeah, it'll bounce up and down, and that's basically when it bounces up and down, that means you're in a slime chunk. So it's really good for if you want to make slime farms, but you don't have access to a seed because you're on a server and they won't give it to you, or stuff like that. Anyway, so next is the trowel. Yeah, so the trowel, it's basically for making like all like natural paths and stuff. So say I just get a hold of blocks to make like a old wall or something. So I just get a whole lot of different blocks that like might look nice together. And you can see here. So now if I get my trowel and I right click for the trowel, it will place the blocks that are in my hotbar randomly. So it'll make a like a random wall. And it looks really nice. It's really nice for like good for making like paths and stuff. And it's really cool. I do believe that it has durability. No, it doesn't. Okay, even better. Anyway, so next is the enchanting side of Quark. So, I did mention before how candles have enchanting properties, and basically, if you have candles in an area where books would be in an enchanting table, it will give it a boost of give your chance of getting that enchantment. So each colored candle gives you different boosts for different things. So I'll go through each one of them, and I've just written it down here. So first, for the red ones, will give you fire aspect and flame. Orange will give you fire protection. Yellow will give you looting, fortune, and luck of the sea. Lime will give you blast protection. Green will give you thorns and piercing. Blue will give you efficiency, sharpness, lure, power, impaling, and quick charge. Cyan will give you respiration, loyalty, and infinity. Light blue will give you feather falling. Pink will give you silk touch and channeling. Magenta will give you knockback and punch. Purple will give you sweeping edge and multi-shot. Black will give you smite and projectile protection. Grey will give you bane of arthropods. Light grey will give you protection. White will give you unbreaking, and brown will give you an acro affinity, depth stride, and riptide. So they've also added changed the enchanting system for vanilla Minecraft now. So say I just go over to this fire aspect and flame one, and so I just get a bow, a sword, and a book, and let's get a book. And when you're enchanting, it's changed how you can do it now. So you can see it's a completely different GUI. So I already had lapis in here, but yeah, so you put lapis in here, and it will fill up this little bar, which is like your lapis meter. So it's how much lapis is used when you're enchanting. And so yeah, if I put a bow in here, it will show up in the what's it called? It'll show up in the enchantment table up here, and it'll like stay in there. And you can see here it's got when you have items in there, it'll add a little plus, and you can see it adds little Tetris pieces alongside. So if I just keep pressing this, it'll eventually run out, so you can't press it anymore. And there's basically all these different Tetris pieces. So what was this one for? This is for flame and fire aspect. So I should have a better chance of getting fire aspect now. Yeah, flame I mean. So here's a flame. Yeah, it's a candle influence that says 50% plus. So that's the only flame on there, just because you can't have multiple levels of flame, so there's no point giving you multiple. So anyway, so you can see I got an unbreaking 1 here, so but everything here is always a level 1. But if you say I want to like an unbreaking 2, you can actually upgrade pieces by getting an unbreaking piece and left clicking on another unbreaking piece. And now it's unbreaking 2, and you can keep doing that. Each time it requires more and more pieces, so I don't actually have any more unbreaking. But you can see I can just keep stacking more and more things on there. And if there's like incompatibility, say I'm enchanting a pickaxe, and it won't give you fortune and silk touch on the side here, it'll only give you one or the other. But basically, so I can you can right click to rotate the different things. And you see here, I believe I can fit that there. No, I can't. Okay, I might have reached my limit. Actually, no, I can fit that one in. So yeah, so that is actually no, yeah, this is a good example. So if you have two, like I got 2 power here, and so basically I won't be able to fit. If I've got 2 of the same enchantment Tetris pieces, they won't let you enchant. But so you're forced to upgrade. So now it will give you power 2, and I can just keep upgrading this one actually because of lots of power. And yeah, so you can see the more and more pieces I give it, the more higher level it will have. So you can see under the power 3, it says upgrade 2 out of 3, and I'll need 3 to get power level 4. But you see here, now I've got power 3 and breaking 2 and flame. And so yeah, I'm now got a flame, power 3, and I'm breaking 2. Oh, I really like the new enchanting system. It requires a bit more like strategy, not just randomly pressing different bars on the side of the enchanting tab. But it works for all different things. So you can say I can have a sharpness here, upgrade my sharpness. This one should have a high chance of having flame as well, fire aspect as well. I don't think it did. Yeah, it didn't get fire aspect, but you got a higher chance anyway. And I want unbreaking as well, so keep upgrading that. So you can see here, I've got unbreaking 2, sharpness 2. You can see if I can keep upgrading my sharpness. There's lots of like for the more common enchantments, obviously I have more of the things on the side, and for the more uncommon ones you won't. And you can basically for the enchanting for books is a little more different. So basically, what you'll have to do is get this sorted out. So for books, you'll only have like 1 or 2 inch Tetris pieces on the side. So and you can see it's not just a level 1 enchantment as well. It's also a level 2. Like level this case it's level 2, but it can be higher as well. So I can just place this piece down, and I'll get a loyalty 2. So that is the enchanting system for Quark, and I quite like it. Some other people might not might not like it, but it's all this stuff can be disabled in the config files of the mods in the mods folder, not the mods folder, but in the config folder. Anyway, so next I'm gonna move over onto the tweak side of Quark. So Quark adds more recipes to tweak basically different crafting for stuff. So I'll just go through that first. So first it adds you can now do more compact kind of crafting. So you can use 8 logs to make 4 chests now instead of just using 8 planks. Just in case you want to craft in bulk. You can now there's universal dyeing, so you can dye any color wool that's not white. You can dye any color wool. Before it used to only be white, but now you can dye any colored wool already into other colored wool. Anyway, so you can make the stone pickaxe now with multiple different types of stone, not just cobblestone. And you can mix and match the different kinds of stone. Next is the dispenser crafting recipe, which is A lot of people find it as a very annoying crafting recipe just because it requires a bow, which isn't stackable, so you can't craft in bulk easily. But now, thanks to Quark, you can just have 3 sticks and 3 string, and that'll craft the bow recipe. Actually, is that true? Because I think I might have gotten that wrong. Actually, yeah, it's actually 3 sticks bent and string down the middle. Anyway, so next is the 3 stone, 2 sticks, and 3 redstone will make a redstone repeater. To make Minecrafts with chest, you just need 5 iron and a chest in the middle there, so you can craft in bulk easier now. Now the corals will give you can be turned into dyes, and now these bent recipes. So basically, say you're out exploring, you don't have any wood, but you need to craft bread really quickly, and so you can just use 3 wheat like this, just in case you don't have a crafting table, and it's also the same for paper and cookies, I believe. And now there's Elytra duplication, which does sound very cheaty and unbalanced, but it's actually quite balanced. So every time after the first time you kill the Ender Dragon, he'll drop a Dragon Scale, which can be used to combined with an Elytra, you can make a second Elytra, and it'll keep this first one here in the crafting table, but you'll basically be able to make Elytras like renewable resources. Anyway, next is, so that's all the recipes for the tweaks. Next, we're going to move over onto the features that it adds for the tweaks. So first, when you're, any crops now, if you right-click them, they will automatically harvest them and plant them again. You can shift right-click on wolves and foxhounds to, pet them. And you can now edit signs, but in this version of Quark, it's a bit bugged, so for some reason, when you right-click them now, you're meant to be able to edit the text that's on there, but instead it just wipes it completely off the sign. Anyway, next, if you put mob heads onto jukeboxes, note blocks, they will make the corresponding mod sound, so I'll just be quiet so you can hear it. Yeah. So that's the mob sound note blocks. Anyway, next is hose. Now will clear out away flowers and grass in a 5x5 radius. So if I just break a piece of grass here, everywhere within a not 5x5 radius, a 2-block radius of the middle will break the grass. So you can see here, this is just going to clear out areas, so you don't have to like use water and stuff, or just clear it by hand. Anyway, so next is glass. So I have to go into survival to show you this one. So now when you break glass without a silk touch tool, it will now drop glass shards. And these glass shards can either be recycled and turned back into their corresponding glass color, or if you like mix and match the different colors, you'll get dirty glass, which is basically a not very nice looking glass block, which just looks like this. Anyway, so I'll go back to creative mode now. Yeah. So next is double doors will not open if they're the same wood types. You see here I've got 2 oak doors. They'll open simultaneously, but you see I've got a warped and crimson door, and they won't open at the same time just because they're not the same wood type. But if I did have 2 of the same type, they would open at the same time. Anyway, next is the shovels will now be able to turn dirt into grass paths instead of having to wait for grass to grow. It does make more sense for the grass to grow, but it's just really annoying waiting for grass to grow just so you can make the grass path. Anyway, next is the compasses that will now work in the nether. So if you go into the nether with a compass, it will now point you into the direction of 0, 0, I believe. Anyway, next is elytras will now be boosted by campfires. So if you have a campfire with hay bales under it and you fly over it with an elytra, it will boost you up like this. So this could be used for making like some fun like elytra flying courses and stuff. But anyway, so that's next. That's probably one of my favorite tweaks that Quark adds. Anyway, next is axes will now harvest leaves much faster. So I just get this axe here. If I and I'll harvest leaves like shears, all at the same speed, except for that it won't harvest the leaves. It'll just give you the normal drops. Anyway, next is armor stands will now, when placed down, will have their arms. So you can see here when I place them, have arms. And if you like have a shield, you can go and put a shield in their main hand, in their offhand, and put like a trident or something in their main hand. And you can put armor on them like normal. But you can also like put blocks and items in their hands as well. Anyway, next is when in Quark. This isn't really much of what Quark would do, but it actually unlocks all the recipes in the crafting book automatically, because Quark assumes if you're using mods, you probably know how to play the vanilla game pretty well. So yeah, it'll just unlock every single recipe. It does the same. It'll unlock all the modded recipes as well. So yeah, that can be disabled in a config if you don't like it. Next is, so by default, in survival Minecraft, you can't get player heads, but thanks to Quark, if you name a snow golem with a player's name and it gets killed by a witch, you'll be able to see shortly that you'll be able to see that normally about to die. Hurry up, witch. Okay, that's yeah. So you can see that snow golem was named Isaac, which is my player name, and it now dropped my head, which is pretty cool. So it gives you a way to get player heads in survival mode. So villagers will now follow emerald blocks like pigs will follow like carrots and potatoes, and like sheep will follow wheat. So yeah, it's pretty cool for pretty good for if you're making like some like villager trading halls and stuff, and just moving them around can be annoying. Anyway, so I believe that's all the tweaks in the tweaks part of Quark. Now moving on to the final section of the mod showcase, which is the world section. So I've set up a whole lot of waypoints where I can teleport to show you the different world features. So first is the different kinds of trees that Quark adds. So Quark adds I believe 5 different kinds of blossoming trees. So the first one I'm going to show you is this sweet one, which has pink leaves. Well, all the blossoming trees have spruce like log stems. Anyway, so you can see this is the sweet blossoming tree has pink leaves and always spawns in extreme hill biomes. Next one is the serene tree, which will spawn in swamp biomes and has a lavender kind of color. Next after that one is the warm tree. And the warm blossoming tree is an orange tree, and they spawn in savanna biomes. They look like this. This is a bit of a bad location, but this is an actually spawned one. Anyway, next after the warm one is the sunny tree. The sunny tree, they spawn in plains biomes, and they have yellow leaves, a little something like this. And this is a big one. You can see that they have like little leaf particles falling out of under them as well. Anyway, so next after the warm sunny tree is the frosty tree, and the frosty tree is basically spawns in cold biomes like taiga biomes and like snowy plains and stuff like this. But they'll have like these nice blue leaves as well, and they have this is a big one as well. Anyway, so that's the trees that Quark adds, and these all have the leaf carpets like the I showed you in the building section. Anyway, next is I'm going to show you is the cave root. So I talked about this earlier when I was talking about the tortoises, and they will eat cave roots. So cave roots, they spawn underground in caves, and they'll grow in levels under they'll grow in under 7 light level. So if you want to farm them, if you just go into survival, you'll be able to see if you break them, they'll give you cave roots. You can't climb them like vines, but they look a bit like vines. And if you break them, you'll get cave roots, which you can use to not breed, but use to feed the tortoises. So after the cave root is the crevice. I have to go back to creative mode for this. But after the cave root is the crevice, and the crevice is a new kind of cave you can find, and it's basically these big discs, and this is actually multiple crevices stacked on top of each other, but they'll be basically these big discs that spawn underground. You can see here's a bit more of a whole one, but yeah, the big giant like cave discs. And anyway, so next after that, after the crevice is the fairy ring, and the fairy ring is basically these rings of flowers which you spawn in like plains and like forest biomes. They're quite rare, and that's because if you dig down in the middle of one, you'll have a chance. You'll find either emeralds or diamond or at the bottom, like, and not at the bottom, but like if you keep digging. So you can see if I keep digging down here, I'll eventually find either emeralds. So here's some diamonds here, and I'll just go dig through the other one to see if it'll get emeralds, just to prove to you that emeralds can be harvested from these as well. So yeah, if I just keep digging down here, and I should eventually run into emeralds, and you can tell well, emeralds or diamonds, but yeah, so here's some emeralds, and you can tell these aren't naturally spawned randoms. You can see in the top left corner of my screen under my mini map, it says level 40, which is my Y level, and emeralds first of all don't spawn in forest biomes, and they don't spawn at Y level 40 as well, and it's the same for the diamonds. They spawned around Y level 40 in that thing. So next is I believe, is the Mega Cave and the Monster Boxes. So the Mega Cave is... Okay, I think I got this wrong, actually. There's no Monster Boxes here. Anyway. Oh wait, so the monster boxes aren't here; they're in a different one. Anyway, so this is basically the mega caves are basically another large cave that spawns in Quark. So it's basically these giant caves with giant lava pools, and they're pretty cool looking. Anyway, so next is the let's see, next is the mega dungeon, and this is our new dungeon they're the same like spawning frequency as pillager outposts. So if I just go into spectator, you can see here this is what they look like. They're like giant rooms that are all connected to each other. They've got like skulls and stuff and spawners, and their loot you can get things like the ancient runes and ancient tomes. Like here's an ancient tome here, and you can see there's like mobs that spawn throughout them, and these are meant to be a bit of a challenge. And they have like pretty like general like dungeon loot, but they also got the like ancient the colored runes as well, like I talked about earlier. Anyway, next after that is I believe that yeah, next is the underground biomes. So the underground biomes, Quark adds I believe how many it adds quite a few underground biomes, and all of these depend on what the surface biome is. So the first biome I'm going to cover is the brimstone biome, and these always spawn under mesa biome. So you can see here if I press F3, you can see in the biome section is it says Badlands, which is and wooded Badlands, and this is basically where the brimstone biomes will spawn. And I talked about earlier how you can use this to make bricks and stuff. But anyway, so you can see here they'll have obsidian and lava in the floor as well. Next, after the brimstone biome, is the crystal cave. These will spawn in all biomes except for ocean biomes. And the crystal caves, they will spawn with two different colored crystals in them. So you see you got an indigo and green crystal. And these crystals can be used to craft their corresponding colored rune. This is so you can only get some of the runes like this, or they can be used to make the rainbow rune if you get all 8 different color crystals. And yeah. So next, after these can be crafted into the crystal sheets as well, which are basically glass pane versions of these. Anyway, so next after the crystal cave is let's see, it's the Elder Prismarine. So here I couldn't find a cave version for this, but the Elder Prismarine looks like this, and I talked about this earlier when I was showing you how you could build out of it. But the Elder Prismarine will spawn in ocean biomes like this, and they'll spawn in like the walls here. You can see like in each pocket you don't get very much. That's why it allows you to duplicate it with normal Prismarine. Anyway, next after the Elder Prismarine is the Glowshroom Cave. And I'm pretty sure the Glowshroom Caves spawn in all biomes except for ocean biomes. And they basically have this glowcilium in the floor, and they'll spawn with these glowshrooms as well. And these glowshrooms can be used to make giant glowshrooms if you bone meal them like other mushrooms. But I don't think this cave is big enough to see it. If you want to see it, you can just download the mod yourself and see what they look like. Anyway, after the glowshroom cave is over here is the lush cave. So these lush caves, these will spawn in jungle biomes. These are kind of dull. They're kind of just caves with grass floors, but these will spawn in jungle biomes. And the next cave after that is, I believe, the overgrown cave, and these will spawn in like forest biomes, and they'll have a mixture of coarse dirt and mossy cobblestone for the floor, and they'll have oak leaves for the ceiling and some oak logs spotted around the sides. So anyway, after that biome is next is the permafrost cave, and these will spawn in all like really cold biomes like snowy plains and like ice spikes biomes, and this is where you get the permafrost blocks from. So you can see some permafrost here, but they'll also have packed ice in the floors as well. Anyway, next after that is the one of the last ones, which is the sandstone cave, and I'll also show you the monster boxes here. But yeah, so this is the sandstone cave, and I couldn't find a very good one, but here's what it looks like. So these will all spawn in deserts, and you can see you got sandstone and like some chiseled sandstone in the walls. But over here are monster boxes, which I want to show you. These are like red. These are the textures are like red versions of spawners, but when you get close to them, they will start making a sound, and a whole lot of mobs will spew out of them. Each time you go near a different one, they'll have different things come out of them, but they have like the same general like types of mobs. You can see here, these ones don't all have the exact same mobs coming out of them, but yeah, they're pretty cool. They're kind of like a little like mini challenge that you can find when you're mining. And he's just in another mega cave. This one I think is a lot cooler than the other one I showed you, just because it's got more like stone around, more of a cave than just a big pool of lava. Anyway, so we're getting on to the last thing in the video, which is the slime cave. The slime cave is a cave which will spawn in the swamp biomes, and they will have basically these lime, green and light blue terracotta walls, and they'll have water in them, and they'll also have slime blocks. So there is one more underground biome, but I'm not going to show you that. I'm going to leave that for you guys to find, so you can download the mod. So this has been Quark. It's in most versions, it's in version 1.16.1 all the way back to, I believe, 1.10.2. They do have different stuff in them depending on the version you go into. But anyway, so that's Quark. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time. See ya!